What happens when a zombie's IQ reaches 250? It will dodge cars coming straight at it. It can also control its desire to bite people. It will also use its ability to launch long-range attacks against humans. Ordinary zombies will act like crazy dogs when they see living people, biting whoever they catch. And yet it understands the principle of catching the ringleader first. It directly rushed over and took out the leader of the opposing girl group first. Cloud Shu, who saw the scene, didn't say a word and rushed towards Zombie with a gas tank, wanting to sacrifice herself to save the other sisters. And her fearless spirit deeply touched Luke Chen, who is so affectionate and righteous. Luke Chen was not willing to let her die like this. Then he conjured a 40-meter void sword with a backhand swing, which frightened the mutant zombie greatly. It quickly conjured 2 fireballs, prepared to rush over and take out Luke Chen in a second. But the next second, Luke Chen vanished into thin air right before its eyes. Before Zombie could figure out the situation, Luke Chen mysteriously appeared behind it. With a quick swish, the mutant zombie's head fell off its body, and this smooth operation instantly shocked everyone present. They all exclaimed that this man is too powerful. At this time, Luke Chen shouted sternly, "Girl, what are you standing there for? Why haven't you thrown away the gas can in your hand and waiting for it to explode?" At this moment, Cloud Shu, who had regained his senses, hurriedly threw the time bomb into the air. Thanks to Luke Chen's timely reminder, Cloud Shu narrowly saved his life. Right after that, the girl's legs went weak and she fell to her knees, starting to cry uncontrollably. And Luke Chen quickly retrieved a chicken egg-sized level 5 crystal from the mutant. Next, Luke Chen helped Cloud Shu up from the ground and asked her about her plans. At this, Cloud Shu looked at her sisters beside her, because at this moment, she also felt very confused. Now that their leader, Sky Song Mu, had died, nobody could decide on what to do next. At this moment, Luke Chen solemnly spoke. "I wonder if my sisters have any thoughts about joining my team. I can assure everyone, following me, at the very least, you won't have to endure hunger and hardship in the future. I know that you are all feeling very complicated right now. You don't need to rush to respond to me. Whenever you have made up your mind, you can come to my villa to find me at any time." After saying this, Luke Chen turned around and left gracefully. However, he had just arrived home for a short while when a knocking sound came from the door. He pushed the door open and saw that indeed Cloud Shu had arrived with more than 20 sisters seeking refuge with him. Cloud Shu spoke resolutely. "Luke Chen, you just saved all of us. That's why all the sisters are willing to join your team." Upon hearing this, Luke Chen immediately expressed his gratitude for everyone's trust. "However, joining my team means you must abide by my rules. Let's first establish some rules. If you can accept them, then I agree to your joining. The first rule is to unconditionally obey my orders. Of course, I will never force you to do anything obscene. Everyone can rest assured on this point. The second rule is that there is no distinction between men and women in my team. Everyone must fight when the time comes. Don't tell me later that you are a girl and you are scared. The third rule is the most important. If everyone wants to find a partner, we should prioritize our own team members. It is also possible to look for someone from outside. However, the prerequisite is to make sure that they join our team to prevent others from exploiting us and extracting our internal secrets. This is also for everyone's safety." As soon as this was mentioned, everyone expressed their acceptance. "We are all willing to follow you." Upon hearing this, Luke Chen immediately expressed his welcome to your joining. "I now appoint Cloud Shu as the squad leader of the Women's Legion. In the future, you can find Cloud Shu to contact me for anything. Everyone come in. In a moment, I will give everyone a surprise." In Apocalypse, a bag of gold can only be exchanged for a hot dog, while vinegar-stirred shredded potatoes for 5 yuan can capture the hearts of 20 girls. To celebrate the addition of the girl group, Luke Chen has carefully prepared a surprise for everyone. Later, Feather Fong and others brought several boxes of Lao Gan Ma chili sauce. They gave 2 bottles to each girl. Seeing that the food here at Luke Chen's place was so good, the girls they liked also joined Luke Chen's team. Wen Jiang quickly said, "Brother Chen, can you please let me join your team as a favor to Pillars?" Luke Chen didn't even think twice and agreed to Wen Jiang's request. After all, this young man had done him a favor in the past, and his character and abilities were both excellent. So Luke Chen couldn't think of any reason to refuse him. Among these newly recruited team members, Cloud Shu has the best qualifications. She awakened her ability on the first day of the apocalypse. Anyone who can awaken on the first day possesses the potential to become a king-level ability user. Therefore, he can consider nurturing her as a core member, in order to test Cloud Shu's current level of strength. So Luke Chen decided to take them to the nearby clothing wholesale market for some experience later. On one hand, he can train everyone's ability to collaborate in combat. On the other hand, he can also collect some supplies. After all, everyone also needs some clean clothes to change into. Soon, Luke Chen led the team to the clothing market, although there were many zombies here. But Luke Chen had no intention of taking action. Instead, he entrusted the team leadership to Pillars and Lily Me, because he also wants to see for himself the overall strength of this female legion, in order to avoid any unexpected occurrences. Luke Chen also arranged for Wen Jiang to be responsible for controlling the number of zombies on site. Once the number of zombies surrounding the female legion exceeds 20, Wen Jiang will lead away some of them. Zombies that quickly sense the smell of living humans gathered around everyone. Seeing this, the girls immediately opened fire and engaged in combat with the zombies. But their attacks are not hitting the mark. It's just that multiple abilities that overlap hit a single zombie. Luke Chen, who saw this scene, couldn't help but gasp. Clearly, this kind of low-level zombie can be instantly killed by one ability. As a result, they wasted multiple ability damage points on the same target, causing severe overflow of damage. It can be said that this group of girls had no cooperation at all. If it wasn't for me arranging Lily Me to manage the scene with Pillars, and Wen Jiang controlling the number of zombies, these girls would have died 1,000 times over. It seems that he needs some more time to let them form combat effectiveness. However, what reassures Luke Chen is that none of these girls have deserted in the face of the enemy. To reward everyone, Luke Chen announced that everyone can choose some clothes they like. When this was said, the girls who had just collapsed suddenly perked up. They all joyfully started zero-cost shopping, and Luke Chen also sneakily picked out some women's clothing. This scene happened to be seen by Lily Me behind them. She wondered if this guy had some special preferences. Or maybe he wants to bring it back as a gift for Purple Me. But just as Lily Me was imagining it in her mind, a girl suddenly shouted, "Sisters, I found a small supermarket. There are a lot of water and food inside. Come and take a look." Shortly after, Cloud Shu and the others arrived at the supermarket. Even though they haven't had water for a day and a night, Cloud Shu still instructed the sisters not to drink yet. Then she found Luke Chen and explained the situation to him. She asked if they could distribute a bottle of water to each sister first. Everyone was really thirsty. Luke Chen was very pleased with Cloud Shu's organized and disciplined behavior. He immediately said, "How can one bottle be enough? Give each person 2 bottles. Purple Me, who saw this scene, couldn't help but exclaim, "I'm really lucky. Since meeting brother Luke Chen, he has never let me go thirsty or hungry again. So, I have to have a showdown with him today." After returning home, Purple Me found Luke Chen alone and then had a psychological building session with him. Purple Me finally mustered up the courage to reveal her feelings to Luke Chen. "Luke Chen, actually, I was smitten with you the first time I saw you. Can I be your girlfriend?" In Apocalypse, a $1 million gold brick can only be used as a table prop, while a watermelon priced at 80 cents per pound can make a beautiful woman fall into your arms. To be able to have a satisfying meal, the woman even took the initiative to propose to him. Luke Chen also didn't beat around the bush. He directly responded with practical actions. But at this moment, Chen discovered that Rice was sitting beside him eating melon with a focused expression, which made him feel extremely uncomfortable. Curiosity killed the cat. At this moment, it was fully demonstrated in Rice. Before it could figure out the situation, it was thrown out of the room by Chen mercilessly, just like a rag. This made Rice very angry. He quickly criticized Chen for being inclined towards love affairs and neglecting friendships. "Don't think I don't know that you bullied Purple Me in the room." And this sentence happened to be overheard by Lily Me, who just passed by. Lily Me was about to break in to see what was going on, but then suddenly stopped in her tracks. She thought to herself, after all, it was that girl's own choice. Besides, her liking for Chen has not been a casual thing for a day or two. Let her have her wish fulfilled. As the upcoming plot is not very interesting, why don't everyone share their phone battery levels in the comments section? See if there is anyone with the same battery level as you. You can start a conversation and get to know each other better. The next early morning, Chen emerged from his room with a radiant expression. He looked at Rice, who was lying on the sofa looking sulky. Chen quickly picked it up and asked with concern, "Rice, would you like a delicious little fish treat?" Upon hearing this, Rice immediately snorted coldly. "Chen, you've changed. How can you treat me like that just now? Do you think I will forgive you just because you give me a little fish treat?" Chen, upon hearing this, smiled slightly. "What about those 10 fish treats?" Upon hearing this, Rice immediately said, "I am a cat with principles. It's not impossible for me to forgive you, but you must give me 20 fish treats." Upon hearing this, Chen didn't even think twice and agreed to Rice's request. He also said that there would be plenty of fish treats in the future. "But Rice, you have grown up now. You must learn to sleep like a cat in the future, you know?" After settling Rice's matter, Chen gathered all the new members together. The terrible battle yesterday also showed him a lot of problems. So he tailored a training plan for each person based on their situation. Element Class Ability User Chen, who possesses long-range attack capabilities, arranged for them to undergo target shooting training. He wanted to ensure that they could all hit the bullseye without fail. And for a close combat ability user like Wen Jiang, Chen had Lily Me use her ability to attack him. Close combat ability users usually charge at the front line of the team, so they must learn to dodge ability attacks. In the previous life, Wen Jiang was the one who struggled in the gutter with a level 1 zombie. Because as long as the zombie reaches level 1, it will awaken the ability to attack from a distance. Chen estimates that before long, a large number of level 1 zombies will appear on this land. So before that happens, he must ensure that every member of his team is equipped with the ability to deal with this type of zombie. Subsequently, Chen found Jade Ma and asked her to improve the meals for everyone at noon today. Not only to celebrate his relationship with Purple Me, but also to reward the hard-working team members who have been training diligently. Chen also realized this. It seems a bit overwhelming for Jade Ma to cook for so many people alone. So he brought in little Lin to help her out. This person is the girl that Wen Jiang is interested in. She is an ability user of the light class. Soon, they prepared a large table full of delicious dishes. Because the living room couldn't accommodate so many people, Chen moved the dining table to the yard. When everyone saw such a lavish feast, they couldn't help but shed tears of excitement from the corners of their eyes. Keep in mind that besides Chen and a few core team members, where else have people seen so much fish and meat after the apocalypse? At this moment, the girls from the Women's Legion can't help but exclaim. Fortunately, we chose to join Brother Chen's team at the beginning. Otherwise, how could we have the opportunity to enjoy such delicious food? But what Chen never expected is that it was precisely because of the fragrant and delicious food on the table that attracted an old, dilapidated car. Only to see a man and a woman got out of the car smelling the delicious aroma. Seeing this, everyone suddenly became extremely vigilant. Because in this food-scarce apocalypse, disasters triggered by the pursuit of a mouthful of food are everywhere. In the apocalypse, Just a bunch of grapes can make a top female star kneel down and lick. Half a steamed bun can make any excessive request to a girl. What is more precious than food is the most common drinking water on weekdays. Only because the water sources were contaminated after the doomsday outbreak. People want to get access to drinkable water. They can only wait for the rain. And the brother and sister who haven't eaten for 3 days in front of them. In order to be able to drink a mouthful of clean water, they are willing to give up all their food in exchange. Chen relaxed his guard upon realizing that they meant no harm. He then asked Cloud Shu to bring 2 bottles of mineral water to exchange with them. But when the girl saw Chen and they were having a feast, she immediately said, "Big brother, do you still need more people here? My brother and I would also like to join." Upon hearing this, Chen smiled faintly. "I don't recruit useless people here. If you want to join us, you are to go hunt and kill 10 zombies now, and then extract the crystals from their heads to come find me." Once this was said, the girl's brother instead let down his guard. If Chen agrees to let them join directly, he will feel that something is amiss. Then the two turned their heads and quickly walked back. They shouted loudly, "Let's go back right now!" In no time at all, the 2 siblings exceeded the task. Carrying the 20 crystals they took from the zombie, they found Chen. Seeing the performance of the 2, Chen was very satisfied. So he quickly asked them when they awakened. Upon hearing this, the man said, "I'm Ming Li. I awakened the ability of the strength class on the 3rd day. My sister, Hui Li, awakened hers on the 2nd day. But I'm not sure which faction her ability belongs to. You seem experienced. Maybe you can take a look." After speaking, the younger sister condensed a purple ability in her palm. Chen, who saw this scene, was suddenly shocked and turned pale. He secretly thought that he had hit the jackpot this time. He never expected that this younger sister would awaken a dark class ability. She is a great player in team battles. Not only can she use spells to weaken enemies, but she can also summon undead creatures to fight. Chen then congratulated you for passing my test. But the rule here is, after joining, you must unconditionally obey orders. If you can accept that, then you will follow me in the future. As soon as the words fell, the 2 siblings shouted in unison, "I accept." Seeing this, Chen didn't hesitate either. He quickly asked Jade Ma to add a few more dishes to welcome him. Taking this opportunity, Chen also announced his good news with purple meat to everyone. Upon hearing this, everyone raised their glasses to express their blessings to the young couple. After the dinner party ended, this young couple was escorted to the bridal chamber. As the following plot is not very pleasant to watch, I won't explain it in detail for everyone. Feel free to imagine it on your own. The next morning, early in the day, Chen led the team once again to a high-end residential area to collect supplies. Although Chen was very satisfied with everyone's training results yesterday, he believed that practical combat was the only true test of the theory. Upon reaching the destination, with a command from Chen, all ability users of the element system on the car immediately began to methodically clean up the zombies around the vehicle. The pillars took the opportunity to swiftly disembark with strength class ability users and began to transport supplies. Seeing everyone cooperate so seamlessly, Chen felt doubly gratified. Under the collective efforts of all team members, the rear compartment of the heavy truck was soon filled with supplies. Just at this moment, a young woman suddenly shouted, "Report to the captain! I found another large supermarket over there. There are still a lot of supplies inside." Lily immediately couldn't wait and rushed in. She thought to herself that a supermarket of this size should have that thing. Then she came to the shelf next to the cashier and began to search. This unusual scene happened to be seen by Cloud Shu, who arrived shortly after. Driven by curiosity, Cloud Shu slowly approached behind Lily. But when she saw what Lily was looking for, she was instantly shocked and blushed. The first thing a woman did after the apocalypse broke out. She actually rushed into the supermarket in a panic to find condoms. The onlookers thought this girl had gone crazy. Nowadays, things are like this. She actually didn't bring food but brought this thing. Is she so thirsty and impatient? Lily Me just wanted to explain, but the other party didn't give her the chance at all. They immediately found an excuse and left in a hurry. At this moment, Lily Me feels so embarrassed that she feels like she can pick out a 3-bedroom apartment with her toes. She thought to herself, if it weren't for her younger sister, would she do such a humiliating thing? Meanwhile, on the other side, due to Chen and their team making too much noise while collecting supplies, instantly caught the attention of the survivors upstairs. At this moment, a middle-aged woman on the 3rd floor shouted loudly, "Young man, Andy can tell at a glance that you are a helpful, handsome guy. Could you help me bring a durian up? Auntie really likes it." When this was said, everyone started asking Chen to bring them supplies. Some asked him to bring 2 bottles of huazhou, some asked for a few bottles of Maotai, and even more outrageously, some suggested he bring a girl. It's really shameless, each one more shameless than the last. Seeing this, Chen didn't give them a good face either. He directly replied, "Don't you have long legs? Can't you come down and get it yourself if you want to eat?" Chen then gestured for everyone to continue moving. Don't mind them. The group of survivors upstairs was quite enraged by this. So everyone picked up pots and pans and rushed downstairs. Normally, when it's all zombies below, this group of people is more cowardly than the next. They would rather starve than go downstairs. Now that they've seen Chen, they've taken care of all the zombies downstairs. This group of people is each braver than the next. They shouted angrily at Chen and the others, demanding them to put down the things quickly. "Didn't your mother teach you that taking things without permission is stealing?" Upon hearing this, Chen snorted coldly and commented, "Is this supermarket owned by your family?" At this time, a middle-aged man spoke solemnly, "Don't say another word. This supermarket is indeed owned by my family. My younger brother was the boss here. He passed away recently." Seeing this, everyone expressed their opinions one after another. "Quickly stop his heavy-duty truck filled with goods. Don't let him steal our supplies." As they spoke, someone prepared to climb onto the heavy-duty truck and drive it away. Seeing the situation, Chen did not indulge them either. He shouted directly, "I want to see who dares to touch my car today." At this time, an old man walked over arrogantly and said, "So you're saying you want to use force, huh? Give me a punch and let me see. I've been in the pottery industry for decades. If you dare touch me, I'll pretend to fall down and won't get up. Without paying me 1 to 2 million, you won't be able to leave this residential area today." Saying that, the old man moved his face close to Chen. Seeing this, Chen didn't hold back either. After all, such a reasonable request. It's indeed a bit unreasonable not to comply with it. He then slapped the old man on the face with the back of his hand. His strong force instantly sent him flying more than 10 meters away. The old man was lying on the ground motionless. A woman hurried forward to check the situation. "Old Wang, it's almost acting. You really played the part quite well. Quickly get up and demand compensation from him." At this time, Chen coldly said, "What are you all standing there for? Can't you see someone trying to rob us? Attack them all." A man who claimed to be Teacher Ma immediately stood up. With a loud shout, he said, "I have been roaming the martial arts world for decades. I detest young people like you who have no martial ethics. Taste my lightning 5-whip combo." But before he had a chance to display his extraordinary martial arts skills, Lily Me's flame class ability knocked Teacher Ma down, leaving him defenseless. However, just as the elderly men and women had left, a few young people immediately walked over to Chen and the others. How evil is human nature in apocalypse exactly? Just for a bucket of instant noodles, the old man brought dozens of people to gang up on the man. And the old man also threatened him that if he didn't hand over the instant noodles, he wouldn't be able to leave the neighborhood alive today. But before he could finish his sentence, the old man was slapped by Chen and was sent flying backwards. At this moment, he realized that he might have offended the wrong person today. Seeing this, everyone was scared and fled in a panic, looking embarrassed. However, the group of elderly men and women had just left. A few young people came over aggressively towards Chen just after the elderly group left. At a glance, Chen recognized that the man leading the group was Chen. In a past life, Chen briefly interacted with him when he just awakened his ability. This person dares to fight and is a tough character. It's a pity that Chen joined him for a few days, and then he died at the hands of the zombies. He saw a few people walking towards him. Chen immediately snorted and said, "What? Do you also want to come and snatch supplies?" The man quickly explained, "Brother, you misunderstood. We are here to make friends. My name is Chen. To be frank, I have a favor to ask. I would like to ask all the heroes to help me. After the matter is settled, I will give you 500 caddies of rice and 10 barrels of water." Upon hearing this, Chen smiled slightly and said, "I am Chen. How do you want us to help you?" At this moment, Chen spoke solemnly. "Recently, a highly powerful zombie dog has appeared in our neighborhood. It not only awakens the thunder ability, but also possesses some intelligence. It will suddenly appear and launch a surprise attack whenever it sees me going out alone to search for supplies. Several of our brothers have died at the hands of this monster. I see that you, Brother Chen, have many people at your disposal, so I wanted to ask for your help in solving this problem together." As soon as Chen heard this, he immediately agreed to help. It's not because of any reward that Chen is willing to lend a hand. It's because his team members are also collecting supplies in this community. If he doesn't deal with this zombie dog, his subordinates might also be attacked by that creature. Chen estimates that the level of that zombie dog is definitely not higher than level 3, otherwise Chen and the others would have died a long time ago. Although the level 2 crystal is no longer useful to him at the moment, it would be a good choice to use it to upgrade Purple Me. Thinking about this, Chen immediately ordered everyone to continue transporting supplies. "I will go with this Brother Chen to take a look. Thunder King, let's go." With those words spoken, Chen was suddenly shocked and turned pale. He quickly shouted, "Brother Chen, you're not joking, are you? How can you go alone?" At the words, Chen chuckled. "How come it's just me alone? Haven't you seen my brother Thunder King also came along? You can set your heart at ease. Just focus on leading the way for us." When Chen was so insistent, Chen didn't have much to say. Then he took Chen to a garden in the residential area. The zombie dog usually appears in this area. We have encountered it many times before. However, due to limited manpower, it always manages to escape. We haven't found a way to deal with it yet. Chen immediately stated that the dog will definitely not escape today. As long as it dares to show up, I will make sure it won't leave. Upon hearing this, Chen immediately asked Chen what his plan was, as he was truly very curious. He himself, along with so many others, were powerless against that beast. Where did Chen's confidence come from to say that he would ensure it won't leave once it appears? Chen did not respond to his question. Instead, he signaled for Thunder King to go nearby and actively search for prey. Chen, who saw this scene, immediately froze in place. Then he yelled, "Brother, do you have a grudge against this dog?" A group of ability users like us couldn't handle the zombie dog. How could you just send such a small local dog there? But before he could finish his sentence, a series of woof 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 screams came from not far away. How terrifying it would be when a Tibetan Mastiff mutates into a zombie dog. Not only can it kill a top-tier ability user with just one bite, but this dog has also awakened the strongest offensive talent, Thunder ability, making it such a formidable presence. Without even taking a turn in front of this little dog, the zombie dog immediately launched multiple Thunder ability attacks at Thunder King. Unexpectedly, Thunder King smoothly dodged all the attacks with his fancy footwork. Then Thunder King found the right moment. He directly pounced forward and executed a move called Thunder Tail Sweep. The lightning fiercely struck the zombie dog's face. The strong force instantly sent this dog flying out. The electrocuted zombie dog was immediately defeated. Chen, who saw the scene, was shocked and lost color. He thought to himself, "Does a dog really have this kind of strength? Why do I feel like it's over before it even started?" Chen, upon seeing this situation, smiled slightly. "Then let's end our cooperation here," he said. "Don't forget to send over the supplies you promised me." After saying that, Chen stepped forward and took out the crystal of the zombie dog. Chen on the side was quite frightened by this. He quickly shouted, "Chen, brother, what are you doing?" He realized that Chen didn't know the function of crystal. Chen didn't hide anything and straightforwardly told him the secret of crystal. After learning that crystal can actually enhance the level of ability users, Chen immediately expressed his gratitude to Chen. Such an important secret. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say it's worth 10 billion. Brother Chen, you actually told us without even thinking about it. We are truly grateful for your great kindness. I will go back with my brothers right away to collect resources for you. Later, Chen took Thunder King back to the community. At this moment, the heavy truck is almost filled with supplies. Not long after, Chen and others brought the rewards to find Chen and Ding Qing. There are at least 2.5 tons of rice. There are also more than 10 buckets of clean water. At this time, Chen smiled and said, "Brother Chen, don't think it's too little. I know that these things are nothing compared to Crystal's secrets. Consider the extra as our little token of goodwill. Also, I wonder if Brother Chen has any thoughts on forming an alliance. I'm not bragging, but all my brothers here are courageous and fearless. There's absolutely no weak link. Would you consider joining forces with us?" Upon hearing this, Chen immediately became uneasy. He promptly stated that there is no talk of forming an alliance on his end. He is open to your joining, but rejects the idea of an alliance. Here is something you may not want to hear. Even if everyone teams up against me, they still wouldn't be a match for me. Moreover, from ancient times to the present, there has been no precedent of a strong joining forces with the weak, only the principle of the weak depending on the strong. But just at this moment, Chen's companion suddenly ran over and shouted that a major incident had occurred. "Our people were just attacked by zombies. A zombie with the ability has severely injured one of our brothers. Hurry over to take a look." Upon seeing this, Chen also followed over with Purple Me. When they arrived, they found that the person's wound was still bleeding profusely. They were almost out of their last breath. Chen did not hesitate either. He quickly signaled for Purple Me to help them out. After Purple Me performed healing magic on the wounded person, the person's wound healed at a visible speed in an instant. Immediately after seeing the man miraculously stand up, Chen and others promptly thanked Purple Me. Seeing that the man was unharmed, Chen then turned and left with Purple Me. Before leaving, Chen also mentioned for them to consider his earlier proposal. "We won't stay here for too long. If you change your mind, you can come find me anytime." Later, Chen gathered all the brothers. After a discussion, Chen then took his men to find Chen, indicating that everyone was willing to follow you in the future. But what Chen never expected was, at this moment, a group of uninvited guests broke into their headquarters. They actually wanted to forcibly seize territory while Chen was away. How awesome is this man? The cat he raises has the ability to foresee the future. The guard dog at home has awakened the strongest talent of Lightning 5-Whip combo. He himself has awakened an extremely rare spatial ability. Not only that, he also recruited a group of strong individuals to form his own power. But these short-sighted fools took advantage of the man leading the team to collect supplies outside, and brazenly came to seize his territory. But at this moment, there are only 2 remaining members in the base, watching as the group of people gradually approach the area where supplies are stored. One member quickly asked what to do now. There are at least a dozen people on the other side. We definitely can't beat them. Upon hearing this, Feather Fong immediately stated that no matter what, we must intercept them. These are the supplies that everyone exchanged their lives for. Calculating the time, Brother Chen, they should be coming back soon. Let's go down first to delay some time. After saying that, the two of them rushed down and stood in front of the group of people. Then they shouted, "What are you trying to do? This is private property." At the same time, Chen had also led the majority of the troops back to the outside of the base. But soon, he discovered that something was wrong. At this moment, not only were several foreign vehicles parked at the entrance of the community, but there were also many people gathered in front of his residence. Upon seeing the situation, Chen immediately ordered everyone to quickly go back to support Feather Fong. However, just as he got off the car, he encountered an old acquaintance from a past life. This person named Wei Lu is an ability user of poison class. The toxic gas he releases can be as powerful as a biochemical weapon. In the previous life, after Silly Chen caused trouble for him and the pillars, he found this guy to rely on. It really is a narrow path for enemies to meet. At this moment, a boastful little Gargas walked up to Heavy Card. Then shouted, "If I'm not mistaken, there should be supplies inside. It's the rules of the Jianghu. We split it halfway when we meet." But before he could finish his sentence, Wei Lu slapped him right across the face with a crisp smack. "Do you understand the rules, you brat? This is supplies collected at the risk of one's life. Why should I split it half with you when we meet?" Then he nodded and bowed to Chen. "Sorry, my brother's mind is not working too well. Sorry for the trouble. We didn't realize this area belongs to you. We'll leave now." After saying that, he left in a hurry with his subordinates. Even so, Rai still sensed that this person was full of malice towards Chen. In order to figure out what this guy is up to, Chen ordered everyone to secretly follow them. At this moment, the little Gargas who was just hit curiously asked, "Boss, why did you hit me just now? With so many of us, are we afraid of that kid?" Upon hearing this, Wei Lu immediately knocked his head angrily and said, "You idiot! Use your brain more in everything. You can't gain any advantage by fighting. Isn't sneaking up on someone a better option?" Upon hearing this, Chen was instantly enraged. He muttered to himself, "In that case, none of you will leave today." The next moment, a spatial spell orb accurately landed on Wei Lu's head, instantly sending him to the underworld. At this moment, Chen coldly commanded, "Brothers, get them. Leave no one behind." After dealing with this group of unruly people, Chen returned home to prepare for a good night's sleep. However, as soon as he lay down, a sudden urgent knocking came from outside the door. He was overjoyed because he knew that his wife Purple Me was the one coming to find him so late at night. But to his surprise, when he opened the door and took a look, it turned out to be his older sister-in-law Lily Me. He hadn't even figured out the situation yet. Lily Me blushed and promptly handed him a black bag. "There are 99 girls in the whole village. 100 of them want to have a baby monkey with this man. Even his older sister-in-law comes to knock on his door in the middle of the night. She even brought him a sack of condoms. Is it the distortion of human nature or the loss of morals that led the proud and cold-blooded Rose Fire Princess to commit such vulgar acts? It turns out it's because his elder sister is worried about him. He is not ready to be a father yet. So she took the opportunity to collect supplies while he was out. She specifically packed some for him. He wanted to not disappoint his elder sister's kind gesture. Chen turned his head and rushed into Purple Me's room. Since the following plot is not very pleasant, I'll skip this part directly. The next morning, Rice anxiously found Chen early in the morning. It expressed a hunch that a major event would occur in 2 days. The world is about to face a terrifying upheaval. Chen immediately knew that this was a sign that the zombies were about to evolve. By then, most of the zombies will have evolved to level 1. Upon thinking about this, Chen immediately took out the level 5 flame class crystal he obtained from the mutant. Although this thing is very useful for himself, he cannot directly level up to level 5. He might as well take it out first, and let a few trusted subordinates enhance their strength. The energy of this crystal is enough for everyone to upgrade to level 3. Later, Chen found Lily and said, "I really liked the gift you gave me yesterday." Courtesy calls for reciprocity. I must also express my gratitude. Upon hearing these words, Lily's face turned red instantly. A wave of inexplicable shame surged through her heart. I thought this guy came over to make fun of me on purpose. Unexpectedly, Chen handed her a flame-class crystal. He said, "You use this first to level up to level 3. After you're done, then I will give it to someone else." Seeing this, Lily didn't stand on ceremony with him. After all, this is also a gesture from her brother-in-law. Then Chen followed suit. Using this piece of crystal, he also helped several other original members elevate to level 3. But the strange thing is, after the other members leveled up, their abilities all showed significant improvement. Only Rice, however, has not changed in the slightest. Could it be that its precognitive abilities have been enhanced? The next morning, Chen gathered all the members of the base early. He shared the news that the zombies were about to evolve to level 1 with everyone. However, everyone doesn't need to panic too much. Let me now teach you how to deal with this kind of zombie. The biggest difference between level 1 zombie and low-level zombie is that they will use ability to attack us. Therefore, we must master some evasion techniques. I will demonstrate it for everyone now. Chen then asked Lily and Cloud Shu to use ability to attack him. Upon hearing this, the two of them did not hesitate. They immediately used the soul fusion technique, ice and fire dual heaven, towards Chen. But who knew that this explosively powerful attack was easily dodged by Chen with a simple jump. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked and started shouting, "Captain is awesome! How did he manage to do that after all?" At this point, Chen said solemnly, "Actually, it's quite simple. I was just following their spellcasting gestures, predicting the trajectory of their attacks, and then jumping ahead of time to avoid them." As long as everyone masters this technique, dealing with level 1 zombies will be quite simple in the future. Although they have gained some intelligence, they are definitely not smart enough to predict this situation. If you encounter a predicting zombie, remember, do not hesitate. Just run directly, because that kind of zombie is not something you can deal with. Next, everyone should find opponents to train with individually. After lunch, groups of 4 will go out to hunt and kill zombies. Before dinner, everyone must return to the base. Each person must obtain 20 level 1 crystals. If one person in your team fails to complete the task, the whole group will be punished collectively. Later, Chen also left the base with Purple Me and others. On the way, they encountered a group of survivors bullying a girl. Seeing this, Purple Me quickly shouted, "That person is my best friend! Brother Chen, can I go down to help her?" Upon hearing this, Chen smiled slightly. "How can I let you go? Just leave it to Thunder King." Thunder King also has great insight. Without saying a word, he jumped out of the car. But when the crowd saw a wild dog rushing over, they burst into laughter. They all shouted to catch it and said, "We'll have meat to eat tonight." Don't be fooled by the harmless appearance of this wild dog. It can kill a zombie with just one fart as an ability user. But several ignorant beings want to catch it to replenish themselves. As a result, as soon as a few people approached, Thunder King burst out a terrifying electrical surge all over his body. It instantly electrocuted the group of little Gargas, leaving them crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. It happened just now. Chen and the others encountered a group of survivors bullying a girl. Purple Me immediately recognized that the girl was her childhood friend. So she begged Chen to come over and help her. Chen did not dawdle either. Thunder King was immediately dispatched to rescue. After dealing with the group of little Gargas, Purple Me immediately rushed over and shouted, "Don't be afraid, Jing Jing. Thunder King is the elder brother Chen sent to rescue you all." Upon seeing the situation, The two immediately expressed their gratitude to Luke Chen for saving them. I'm Zhang Jingjing, and Purple Me is my childhood friend whom I'd known since we were young. This is my father, Fei Zhang. I just thank Brother Luke Chen for his righteous act of saving us. I wonder if your team is still recruiting members. We really have nowhere else to go now. Out of respect for Purple Me, Luke Chen didn't have the heart to refuse. So he directly took them back to the base. But who knew as soon as they got off the car, Zhang Jingjing said she wanted to sleep in the same room as Purple Me. Seeing this, Luke Chen didn't indulge her either. He immediately stated that only core members were allowed to stay in this villa. Cloud Shu is also very insightful. She immediately took Zhang Jingjing to their side. Seeing that she was so familiar with the captain's wife, Cloud Shu arranged for Zhang Jingjing to have dinner with herself. You should know that for new members who have just entered the base, having a bowl of rice to eat is already very good. Even when Lily Me first joined, she only had white rice to eat. While today they are eating braised pork with potatoes. But Zhang Jingjing is eating meat voraciously, while asking Purple Me what they had for lunch. Why isn't everyone eating together? Cloud Shu immediately knew that her words were meant to show off. So she promptly stated that there are hundreds of people at our base now. How can there be such a big place for everyone to eat together? Isn't braised pork with potatoes satisfying enough for you? Although she claimed she didn't mean it that way, deep down she was definitely thinking that Purple Me must be eating better than them. Not thoughtful at all. Having delicious food and not inviting me, how impolite. At the same time, Luke Chen is instructing Purple Me not to tell our secret to Zhang Jingjing first. Although that person is your close girlfriend, I also want to observe her for a while first. If her abilities and character are both good, I will naturally treat her well. Upon hearing this, Purple Me quickly nodded to indicate that she understood. But just then, suddenly, a voice came through the intercom. It was Feather Fang's voice. Brother Chen, something big has happened. There are suddenly more than a dozen cars at the entrance of our base, requesting backup. Upon seeing the situation, Luke Chen immediately ordered Cloud Shu to rush to the entrance to support Feather Fang, and to bring Zhang Jingjing along as well. No need to treat her differently. Shortly after, Cloud Shu immediately notified everyone to set aside their utensils and prepare for battle, before Zhang Jingjing could even figure out the situation. Cloud Shu then asked her what type of ability user she was. After learning that she was in the strength class, Cloud Shu arranged for her to stand at the front of the team later. Upon hearing this, Zhang Jingjing immediately grabbed Hui Li beside her and shouted, "Why should I stand in the front as cannon fodder? How come she gets to stand at the back?" Hui Li quickly explained, "I belong to the dark class and am a long-range attack ability user, so Sister Cloud arranged for me to stand at the back." Seeing the situation, Cloud Shu did not indulge her. He directly pulled her to the entrance of the base. Purple Me, who witnessed the scene, quickly stepped forward to comfort Jingjing. "Don't be afraid. I will always buff you and provide healing support," she said. But at that moment, she noticed the cream at the corner of Purple Me's mouth. She whispered to herself, "As I suspected. She didn't even bother to bring me along when there's good food. Won't even say a word to help me in a life or death situation. You're just getting close to the leader of a small gang. So what's the big deal? You act like a middle school student, then don't blame me for acting like a high school student. Who would have thought that this charming and lovely girl in front of us is actually a beast worse than a beast?" The man kindly rescued her from the tyrant's hands. The man also brought her back to the base and provided her with food and drink. But she not only did not show gratitude, but also took advantage of him when the base was in danger. Just now, a group of unexpected guests suddenly broke into the base. Seeing the situation, Feather Fang and others immediately blocked them and stated that this is a private property and they are not allowed to enter. But this group of people arrogantly shouted, "Kid, don't be arrogant. My big brother is a level 2 ability user. Be smart and get out of here." "Look," Luke Chen brought his men over. Guang Chen quickly said, "Brother Chen, We have already warned them. But they didn't listen. At this moment, a burly man with a scruffy beard walked over and said, "Young man, you must be the boss here. To be honest, we are also at the end of our rope, which is why we resorted to forcefully intruding on your territory. My brothers and I haven't eaten anything for a day and a night. Could you please provide us with some food to help us in our time of need?" Upon hearing this, Chen smirked. "So, are you saying that you had food yesterday? It is absolutely impossible to give it away. But you can use crystal to exchange with me. I don't have any extra food here either. But since we are both survivors, I can reluctantly exchange a little with you." But at this moment, the burly man found that on Chen's side, there were only some girls, including Chen himself. In his eyes, there was not a single person who could fight. I sneered, as a level 2 ability user, facing just a pretty boy with a group of girls. Who gave him the courage? Evil thoughts instantly surged in his mind. Then he arrogantly said, "We don't ask for much. Just give us a dozen tons of rice and a few hundred barrels of water. Kid, let me tell you, if you push my brothers too far, I can't guarantee you they won't do anything extreme." This statement thoroughly infuriated Chen, and he was about to go up and get rid of this ignorant fool. Suddenly, Zhang Jingjing's voice came from behind him. "Just give them some food, Chen. Why do you have to resort to armed conflict? The food they want is indeed not much for you." Purple Me, who heard these words, hurriedly told her to shut up and not speak out of turn. However, Zhang Jingjing continued to speak incessantly, as if she hadn't been interrupted. "Which character did I pronounce incorrectly? You've stockpiled so much food. Why not use the food to drive them away? If a fight breaks out later, I'll be the one standing in the front. Those of you standing in the back naturally have the luxury of being bystanders." As soon as these words were spoken, the people on the opposite side burst into laughter like pigs. They all expressed that this young girl is the most reasonable one. At this moment, Chen slowly walked up to Zhang Jingjing. Then he slapped Zhang Jingjing hard in the face with the back of his hand. "Who do you think you are? When is it your turn to speak here?" Fei Zhang, who witnessed the scene, quickly stepped forward and accused Chen of being brainless. "Which sentence did my daughter say wrong? Are you blind? Can't you see so many people across the street? Do you have to die if you give them some supplies with dozens of villas here filled with goods?" Although this amount of supplies may not mean much to Chen. But if he sets this precedent, he will surely become a target of public criticism. At this moment, Chen coldly remarked, "It seems that you two father and daughter are truly like wild wolves, who cannot be tamed. Is this the way you repay my life-saving grace? I will deal with you later." Chen then walked up to a young man and said, "You don't seem to be with him. Are you here to steal supplies too?" The young man quickly waved his hand and said, "Brother, please don't get me wrong. We just came here to see if there are any empty villas we can stay in. Since this is your territory, we will take our leave." And at this moment, the burly man was still arrogantly threatening Chen, demanding that he hand over the supplies quickly. But who knew that the next second, Chen actually condensed a spatial magic sphere. Then he turned around and instantly defeated this reckless thing. At this moment, Chen said coldly, "All team members, listen to my command. Wipe them all out for me." In Apocalypse, you only need a packet of peanuts to exchange for 50 kilograms of gold. A bucket of instant noodles can trigger a horrific and unprecedented murder case. And this man asked Chen to give him 10 tons of rice as soon as he opened his mouth. He also threatened that if he wasn't given, he couldn't guarantee what his brothers behind him would do. Seeing this, Chen did not indulge him either. He retaliated with a spatial magic orb and sent him to the netherworld. He then said coldly, "All team members follow my orders. Annihilate the enemy within 5 minutes." Zhang Jingjing and her father were shocked to hear this. They knew that the enemy outnumbered them at least 3 times. How dare this kid talk so arrogantly? Under Lily Me's leadership, the battle only lasted for 2.5 minutes. The opposing group of miscellaneous soldiers then collectively took away their box meals. At this moment, Zhang Jingjing and her father suddenly realized. No wonder he was so tough just now. So that's where his confidence comes from. Then Zhang Jingjing crawled up to Luke Chen like a dog, begging for mercy. She expressed that she was just too scared a moment ago. That's why she said those nonsensical things. Please don't kill me. Out of respect for Purple Me, Luke Chen didn't take extreme actions. He just said that my place is small and cannot accommodate you two big figures. Disappear from my sight quickly before I change my mind. Upon seeing this, Zhang Jingjing quickly shouted, Purple Me, please help me talk. I don't want to leave. When Purple Me refused to speak up, Zhang Jingjing threatened sternly. Purple Me, you just wait and see. Aren't you just relying on someone powerful? One day when I do the same, you will regret it. As soon as these words came out, Luke Chen immediately kicked Thunder King. Luke signaled it not to leave any future trouble for everyone. The next second, Thunder King immediately caught up with the father and daughter pair, as if he understood their intentions perfectly. At the same time, on the other side, the young man who had just shown good judgment returned and found Luke Chen again. Hello, my name is Donlight Lung. I wonder if Brother Chen is still recruiting people on your end. We all want to join your force. He then handed a crystal the size of a chicken egg to Luke Chen. Seeing this, Luke Chen immediately took the crystal and carefully observed it. He was pleasantly surprised to discover that it was actually a level 6 crystal. So he quickly asked where this thing came from. Upon hearing this, Donlight Lung smiled faintly. Crystal is something I found on a giant monster's body named S. Consider this as a gift I'm giving to you. I hope you can accommodate us. This made Luke Chen burst into laughter. He secretly thought that with this crystal, he was not far from reaching level 5 himself. Originally, he estimated that it would take at least a month to advance. It seems that now it will be more like 3 to 5 days. So Luke Chen immediately said, Seeing your sincerity, I agree to let you join. But you must abide by the rules here. Guangchen, can you explain to him? Upon hearing this, Guangchen immediately started explaining to him. In fact, the rules here are very simple. First, absolute obedience to Brother Chen's orders. Second, no mercy for those who retreat during battle. Donlight Ling hurriedly reassured him that there is not a single person here who is afraid of death. Luke Chen then took crystal and prepared to go home to absorb it. But he found the Thunder King suddenly ran towards him, wagging its tail. Then it indicated that I had permanently cut off future troubles. Do you think I should add a chicken leg for myself later? The most frightening thing in the apocalypse isn't zombies. It's the human heart where good and evil are hard to distinguish. Just because this woman is unwilling to give up the supplies she worked hard to find. These animals are no better than pigs and dogs. They actually beat the girl to death in public. It just happened recently. Luke Chen wanted to train the newly joined members. So he told Cloud Shu to take them out for some training. Later, everyone, led by Cloud Shu, arrived at a residential area. Before entering the residential area, Cloud Shu ordered the team to split into groups of 4 to search the area. In case of emergencies, they should use walkie-talkies to stay in contact. But who knew that everyone had just started to move? A fleet of vehicles drove into the residential area in a grand manner. Upon seeing the situation, Cloud Shu immediately notified everyone to stop the search. All members, please gather over by the heavy truck area immediately. However, as soon as the words fell, a group of members were unfortunately surrounded by the convoy that had just arrived. This group of people noticed the girl's beauty, and evil thoughts arose. They even threatened to not only rob money, but also assault the girl. Just as the two men were about to approach and commit misconduct, the girl directly used a move to break the leg of one of the men, instantly disabling him. At this moment, the leader Little Gargas on the opposite side shouted angrily, "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and disable them!" Immediately, dozens of fierce-looking individuals surrounded everyone menacingly. When Cloud Shu arrived, the girl was already lying in a pool of blood. Cloud Shu saw a few people still preparing to attack the other teammates. An ice arrow brushed through one person's head all at once. At this moment, Cloud Shu coldly said, "Quickly release them, otherwise, don't blame me for going on a killing spree." But unexpectedly, a man in glasses suddenly walked out from the opposite side. He then shouted in a bold manner, "I want to see how capable you really are." He then used earth shields to protect his henchmen behind him as he spoke. But the next second, an ice arrow pierced through his shield. The man was suddenly shocked and lost his color. He didn't expect this woman to be so strong. Seeing that the other party's people and horses had already gathered, the man in glasses immediately ordered his subordinates to release the person quickly. But unexpectedly, Li Yin had already stopped breathing. Although Cloud Shu's heart was filled with the desire to destroy them at this moment, she knew it was not the time to act impulsively. The enemy's numbers were at least twice as many as ours. Engaging in a fight would only lead to unnecessary casualties. Thinking about this, Cloud Shu, tears in her eyes, ordered all team members to retreat. She muttered, "You guys wait for me. I'll go back and bring reinforcements." And at this moment, the man who killed Li Yin was still shouting that people could leave. But this heavy truck must stay. Cloud Shu and the others left without looking back. The man quickly asked the boss why they were allowed to leave. But the boss did not respond until he finished speaking. The man with glasses slapped him across the face. "You King have no brains. Didn't you see her ice arrow piercing through my earth escape just now? If we really fight, no one will gain any advantage." And at this moment, Cloud Shu has also returned to the base. Then she told Luke Chen the whole story. Upon hearing this, Luke Chen did not blame her. Instead, he said, "You did well. You weren't blinded by hatred and came back to tell me about it as soon as possible. Since you chose to be with me, I will absolutely not tolerate anyone bullying you." He immediately informed all members of the base to assemble. "I want to see who's the brave one. Anyone who dares to touch Luke Chen today, blood debts must be repaid with blood." The man is the dominant master of the apocalypse in this area. He not only hoarded billions of supplies, but also built up his own power. He also recruited a group of strong individuals as his followers. But this group of reckless individuals actually stole a truckload of supplies from him. They even publicly killed one of his subordinates. After learning of the situation, Luke Chen immediately summoned all his men. He vowed to seek justice for his fallen brother. As Luke Chen raised his arm, the crowd roared in unison, "Blood debts must be repaid with blood." Shortly after that, Luke Chen arrived aggressively with his men at the scene of the incident. Guided by Cloud Shu, they quickly found those reckless fellows. The man in glasses who witnessed the scene was suddenly shocked and lost color. He didn't expect the other party to show up at the door so quickly. At this moment, Luke Chen coldly said, "I heard you guys are quite arrogant. Not only did you steal my goods, but you also killed one of my men. Who gave you the courage? Was it Jingru Liang who sang the song, Courage?" As soon as the man with glasses heard this, he quickly said, "Brother, calm down first. It's all our fault. I will have my younger brother bring your heavy cart over. How about compensating you with 1,000 kilograms of rice?" Luke Chen did not respond to this. Instead, he indifferently said, "So you're saying a human life is only worth 1,000 kilograms of rice, right? I will give you 100 tons of rice now. How about buying all your lives?" Although these words are very arrogant, when the man in glasses saw the woman whose strength surpassed his own, he behaved respectfully towards this man. He became more certain that this person must have the capital to back up his arrogance. So he immediately turned to the henchman who caused the accident and said, "Little Black, this whole thing is because of you. Can't let your brothers take the blame for you." He then had his henchman take him to Luke Chen. But who knew this Little Black was quite loyal. He immediately told Luke Chen that San Zhang and Si Li were also involved. And those two guys fought even more fiercely than me. Big brother, please spare my life for being so honest. Upon hearing this, Chen immediately glared fiercely at the man with glasses. Then he shouted, Sanjong and Sealy! This scared him quite a bit. He immediately ordered his subordinates to bring the person over to him. Seeing the situation, Chen didn't treat him politely. He quickly shouted for a few brothers, who hadn't washed their feet in 2.5 years, to come over. Use your shoes to whip them hard for me. Whip them to death. As soon as the words fell, several brothers, who never washed their feet, rushed up. After a clang of slap sounds, those individuals were instantly slapped into pig heads. In order to help everyone vent their frustrations, Chen called Ling Wang to heal them. The brothers behind are still not feeling relieved. We can't let them die like this. But just at this moment, Cloud Shoe suddenly walked over with a wooden board spiked with nails, indicating that I should take revenge on those bastards for Li Yin. Immediately, a horrific howl that chilled the soul resounded through the sky. To their surprise, they only drew 2.5 minutes. Several of them immediately felt bitter disappointment. The man with glasses who witnessed this scene was instantly covered in cold sweat. He never expected that this woman would be so merciless. He immediately stated, Since the perpetrator has already received the appropriate punishment, shouldn't we consider our grievances settled? But Chen coldly replied, Do you think you can just get rid of me with these few tricks? There is no such good thing in the world. Today, all of you must pay the price for Li Yan's death. The man in glasses quickly shouted, Are you still unreasonable? But Chen said coldly, Now you know you need to be reasonable, right? When you stole my supplies and killed my men, did you act reasonably at that time? If it weren't for me bringing so many people for revenge today, would you still reason with me? Therefore you must die today. Men are invincible creatures in the apocalypse. He not only awakened an extremely rare spatial ability, he also recruited a group of powerful individuals to form his own force. But these arrogant fools actually publicly killed one of his subordinates and looted a truckload of supplies from them. Although Chen immediately sent the perpetrator to the underworld, but he did not plan to let go of these scum. At this time, the leader with glasses loudly scolded, Do you still have no sense of reason? I have already handed over the troublemakers to you for disposal. What else do you want now? You really think we're afraid of you? My brothers here are all experienced level 1 ability users, and there are more of us than you. Be smart and get lost. Don't force us to take action.